this late, but I decided to go ahead and do it. I've been trying to work on my streaming for about 2.5 hours, 3 hours right now. And it's 1 o'clock in the morning, so here in Tennessee. My name is Eric Beatty, and let me go ahead and fade in and see how new I am to this. My name is Eric Beatty, and it's good to be here. My first video on Twitch. And my brother actually recommended this to me. His name is XMudis on Twitch. And I play guitar, I teach guitar, and I'm a professional guitarist. I earn my living teaching guitar in various courses. And I also have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/sword, SWRD 6204. Or you can get there by my website by going to ericbeatty.com/YouTube. Beatty is spelled Beaty. You can probably see that on my Twitch profile. So this is my first stream here on Twitch. I can't really tell what's going on, how everything is going on. I've never really messed with Twitch a lot. And my brother told me about Twitch, said it's a good platform to just get on and stream. I'm not much of a gamer as far as hardcore streaming everything I do, but I love creating videos and I love playing guitar and experimenting. And while I do a lot of videos on YouTube, I decided to try Twitch out for an experimental streaming platform for me. Not having to worry about coming up with, a set, series of videos or anything like that. Just being me on camera along with you and talking about things that guitar related. I'm also a writer. I've written a couple of books called Smart Focus. I'm working on more, and but blah blah blah. I could go on forever. Now I like talking. You'll learn that I love to ramble, and people accuse me on YouTube, say that I talk too much. Well, then Twitch is another good reason to be on Twitch is the fact that they want you to engage with the audience. They want you to talk. I want you to engage and keep the audience captivated. The main reason I wanted to go over tonight on Twitch is because I want to talk about a cool pedal that I just received in the mail. I think it was last week sometime. Been excited about this pedal. This was an early Christmas gift to myself, and I love multi-effects pedals, and this is an awesome one so far from what I've tested, and that is the Zoom MultiStomp MS-50G. And it says on the box here, version 2 comes with 100 presets. The awesome thing is, very recently they've updated version. Hold on just a second. Let me make sure my mic is right here. I'm still getting used to all this. I'm using OBS, so I'm getting used to a lot of that stuff. But anyway, version 3 they just come out with, and it includes an extra 72, somewhere around there, presets and effects that you can download via USB into the pedal. And it's a very easy process. I really enjoyed messing with that. But this is an amazing pedal so far. Very, very intuitive, very easy to understand and start working right out of the box. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do now is kind of demo some of that stuff. And you can see some of my playing, and you can, I can talk here about this. I don't even know if anybody's going to be watching, but hopefully this will be saved to Twitch before too long. Now, I'm going to go ahead and switch to my secondary view here, and that is for the purpose of being able to see me play guitar in my hands. I have with me, before I get to that, an Ibanez RG4EX1. Quilted maple. Love this guitar. I got it for $250 a few years back. It's been a while. 3-4 years, something like that. Regular stock Infinity Ibanez pickups. Edge, I always get these confused. I think this is Edge 3 and Wizard 2 neck. Shark fin inlays. Just a beast. That's what I've actually called it. It's the beast. So this is the guitar that I'll be using tonight. I also have other ones that I'll be talking about. And also, if you're watching, I'm probably going to upload this to YouTube later so that I don't have to do 2 videos on this same pedal. So if you're watching on YouTube, don't get confused about me mentioning Twitch and all that. Recently, I did a poll on YouTube to see what more of my YouTube subscribers wanted. and that is that they wanted more. They wanted to see more acoustic videos, which I play a lot of acoustic guitar. My main forte is bluegrass guitar, and so I've decided to save a lot of the streaming things and experimental things for this channel. And what I'll do is, if I decide it's worthy of YouTube and it's along those lines, which this one definitely will be, I'll go ahead and put it on YouTube as well, but later on when I get the chance to. So you may be seeing this later on YouTube as well. So let's test out this video and see what we got going on. Let's go ahead and go to the next view. Now this may be slipping and sliding around here. I want to try to get the angles correct so that you can see my hands, see me playing. And right in the middle of your screen on the top, you will see the YouTube URL that you can get to my channel, and there's some example videos there. I've got over 700 videos, some of which are unlisted, but I've got over 700 videos on there, mainly guitar stuff, writing, a little bit of screencasts, a little bit of entrepreneur stuff. But so go make sure to go check that out. Now this, like I said, is the Zoom MultiStomp MS-50G for guitar stomp pedal. And right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the very first setting, which is a rat drive. Now hopefully you can see this on screen. I tried to adjust the contrast earlier so that it'd be viewable and very easy to see. This is right now being powered via USB back here. And I'm just coming in straight from my guitar, no amp or anything, going straight into the guitar, out to my audio interface, which is a Behringer Euphoria UMC 204 HD. And that's also picking up my lapel mic in channel 2, which is Audio-Technica AT3350. Now you can buy a lot of these products, the Zoom pedal and the lapel mic and a lot of the stuff. If you go to ericbeatty.com/shop, that'll take you to my Amazon affiliate link. And if you're on Amazon, you know how that works. Where they'll get a small commission on each sale that I have there. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help support what I do here on Twitch, YouTube, and all the various other platforms that I have. So I'll get to I'll get to all of this later. You should be able to see this on the screen. This whole section here and the manual and different things like that. But for now, let's go ahead and listen to this. Let's fire this bad boy up and listen to it. And hopefully, as I do more of these, I'll understand how to. I'm looking at my live page on Twitch, and so I can't tell if anybody is chatting or anything. So if I don't answer your chats, please forgive me. So let's go right into this. This is the rat thing. Now this middle button is the preset banks. And it takes me to the memory banks, and it says rat drive. I hit it again, it enters that into the system, and you can see it here. So let's go ahead and see what that sounds like. Nice little delay there. Switch the pickup down here. Okay, now with this pedal, we can adjust the settings of the overall pedal here by pressing this button. This allows you to adjust different settings, like deleting this effects unit, looking at the effects chain to where we can actually hit that and move different chains into different areas of the effect, or excuse me, different effects in different areas of the chain. And then I can go back and go to overall settings, where it will talk about the tuner and the power management. If you're using this, uses 2 AA batteries instead of a 9-volt, which is really awesome, especially if you like rechargeable batteries. It also is powered via an AC, or excuse me, AC adapter, I guess is what it is, DC adapter, whichever voltage that is, and which you can use your one spot or your power Godlike Power All or whatever it's called, or your Power Brick from Voodoo Labs, whatever, on your pedal board. You can use that, or you could use the batteries or the USB cable here. You can select the battery type, the LED backlight, LCD contrast, which is, if I press this, I can change the contrast so it can be darker or whatever. And I've got it on about 6. I go back, and then I can see it's got an autosave and different things like that. I can go back and I can see the version number, which this should be version 3. You can see that version 3. I go back here, and there's only like 4 settings on this main menu. Okay, and then I can just back out of that by hitting exit. This is usually the exit button. This is if you want to go within, you can hit that and go within the actual effect. So if I go back out, I exit, I go to like the next effect, which is the squeak or the rat, wannabe box, and I hit this. I don't have to hit this to turn these knobs. Okay, so let me get back out of that. I can turn these knobs immediately, and then it starts affecting the parameters. But if it has different pages, like, let me see if I can find one with different pages. See these? There's different tabs. I can hit this, and it changes to the next page, back to page 1, and so on. Okay, so that's very easy. If you want to add an effect on this side, you press and hold here, and it'll give you the option to add an effect. Okay, so you can decide if you want dynamic filter, your modulation, different effects like synth and things like that, pitch shifting, delay reverb, distortion overdrive, and the amp models. Okay, so you just use the little arrow buttons here, over, up, and down, which is this little black ring around the main effect. And this is usually this select. So you select this, and you can add an effect there. In this case, I elected for a delay, so I can add that. And if I don't want that, what I can do is tell it to delete the effect unit. Yes, I want to delete delay. There, so it's no longer in there. Okay, now the way this works, now I've added an extra graphic EQ for some reason, unless it already had one. Looks like it does. The other way that this works is, let me see what my train of thought was. I just lost it. You can, matter of fact, let me just go back to this. This is the main memory drive, so I can go down and come back to this. By the way, this comes already set up to autosave any parameters you switch. So if you don't want to do that, then you can go in within your settings and turn the autosave off. You can always come back to this menu, and there's this store right here. That's this button. You can store it manually if you want to. You've got 50 different effects or 50 different presets with 20 already set up for you. Actually, it's 30 already set up, so you got another 20 you can mess with, or you can go back and completely override all the other effects that are in this. So if I come back up here, I can go back to the rat, the drive, hit that as my enter button. Actually, it's that one, and it will go ahead and select that. Let's see, there was something else. So this one does have 2 EQs. I wish I could think of what that was. Oh, the up and down buttons allow you to select within the next effect. So that's squeak. So we're in the overdrive section. So there's a fuzz you can automatically start messing with there. Go back to that squeak. Let's go down here to Boss DS1 distortion. And then a distortion plus, MXR. Kind of like that one. Now these aren't the actual MXR, Boss DS1, all this stuff. These are emulated. So just so you know, I can come down here to other ones, and then I can start tweaking all these effects that I want. And I can come in here and start tweaking the tone, the level, the gain, exit out of there, different things like that. If I don't want this effect on, I can use the switch and turn that effect off. So now I don't have the effect. Turn it back on. Okay, different things like that. So that means if I don't want this EQ on, the next effect in the chain, I can turn that EQ off. Turn it back on. Now I know what I was going to say now, finally. The chain goes from right to left. not left to right like you probably used to playing maybe. It's your guitar goes in, then it goes to the first effect on the chain, which happens to be this, which is a noise, I think a noise gate. This is the guitar, then goes into the noise gate, next effect over, then it goes into distortion, then it goes into the 2 EQs, then it goes straight into the delay. Now you could have up to 6 effects. This preset has 5, so that's how you see the chain from right to left. Okay, on this chain here. I can add chorus, I can add, reverb at the end of this. Wherever I want it in the chain, I'll go to that. So I maybe want to add a chorus after the overdrive here. So I would press and hold this button, and if you notice, there's arrows here too that tell you there's effects before and after on the left and right of the current effect. I'm using mono right now. It has stereo outputs, and so if I want to add a chorus, let's say a chorus after this, I would press and hold. And now in the chain, I've got the option to go to the chorus. So I'm going to go mod, and then I'm going to hit that, okay, the middle one. So I don't want to trim those. Let's see if I can find a chorus here. Now, if you're going down, it's going to the next preset. So you want to go up from where it gives you. So we're going to have a chorus here, and I've got different ones. I think I'm going to go for a super chorus. I think it's what it's called right there. So there's my super chorus. Now it's in the effect chain. If I can turn this off, we can hear it a little bit clearer. So I can start tweaking the knobs here. I can have a louder effects level, slower rate, a little bit more depth. Next page, EQ, I'm guessing that's the tone. I'm not exactly sure. So you have mono or stereo chorus. So if I have it on, put it on stereo here, see if it does anything. Not exactly sure if it did or not, but then I press it again and it's ready. Let's see if I can, hopefully you can hear that well. So if I turn that off, see if there's a difference. Now you'll definitely hear it if I increase the rate and turn the effects level up a little bit more. Okay, so that's definitely making that louder. I usually like a slower rate, and we want the effect to be up. The depth I don't really care about, so I'll back out of that. This is the exit button, by the way, as well. It'll show you a little menu of what happens here. Okay, so there are all kinds of things you can do with this pedal. Really enjoy working with it. So let's skip through some of these sounds again. So if I wanted to store that, what you would do is you would go over here to the menu. You would bring up the menu bank, which is this little 3-line icon is just showing you a list, kind of like what we have here. We would scroll to where we want this setting to be. In this case, it's going to be, if I want to leave the presets alone, go to 31, and then I can hit store, because this button tells me that that's store. Okay, so when I store that, it'll allow me to select the name that I want. So I can store it and call it test or whatever. But I don't really feel like storing with that, so I can exit by doing that. And also here, I haven't messed with this a lot at all, but you can also assign effects. So let's say I want a nice lead sound, and this is one of my favorites. I'm going to call that, I can use this. This is a little A-B thing. It tells me which channel I can put that on. So I can hit that and make that A. Okay, so that's what I want for A. Let's make this one, actually let's take that off. Let's make A this, which is clean. Then I'll find me an overdrive. So there's an overdrive. I can make that B, and for a sizzling lead, I can come over here and make it C. And this will go all the way through the alphabet, A through Z, 26 different patches. And if I exit out of this, what will happen is that I hit this button now, it doesn't turn effects on and off, it goes through the presets, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what's supposed to work. I've got the manual pulled up here, so let me go see if I can find out where that was. Okay, so currently I open the list, and then I hit that for the patch memory. Okay, so now I'm on patch memory. So that's what it is. I have to open the list, then hit this to engage the patch memory. So this will cycle through all 26 if I want. So I can start with a nice clean. Engage the foot switch for the next patch, which will be assigned B to be an overdrive. Then the next one is a whip lead, and I can start messing around with this. Back to the start. Okay, so disengage that, go back to the effect memories, and I think that right there automatically sets it. So now, yeah, we just exit out of that by pressing this. So if I go back to that, okay, so it looks like I press exit here because that's exit right there, and now we're out of that mode. Okay, so now I'm whatever the last preset was, which is whip lead. Okay, so that is what I really wanted to go over, is kind of like the basics of how this works, as well as listen to some of the sounds. So let's go through some of the sounds here, and I'll go all the way to the front. Now here's another good lead, a rock 2. Now you don't have to exit out of this. As soon as you hit it, it'll automatically go to that preset, and you can start messing with it. Okay, so rock 1. Okay, so that to me sounds like Joe Satriani. That song was called 10 Words. Can't remember exactly. All right, so let's go back up here to the very top, and we're going to go to clear chorus. All right, so let's just go through these. Once again, that was Rat Drive at the very first one I started messing around with. A little bit of a subtle delay there. Let's go to the next one. Clean chorus. also, some of these effects won't be on. So like maybe this might have an overdrive. We can come out of here and exit out of that. It tells us the preset, and it tells us that there's effects before that. So we start scrolling through there. Okay, there's a comp, and there's nothing else. And sometimes there'll be effect that's turned off, and that's how you tell. If it's red, it's on. If it's not red and you want it engaged, you click the vacuum switch, and you're good to go. Let's go back to here where we're at. We got a W screamer, whatever that is. You can totally rename these as well if you want to. How you would do that is you press store, and you can rename it, and you can store it to whatever number here. Okay, so you got all these different things, but I'm going to back out of that. Okay. All right, the next one is a funky wall. This is one of my favorites. Add a distortion to that, and you've got a really cool sound. Let's go back over here. A Phaser 100. Really good sounds on this. Now, one other thing I want to point out with this is I've got a pedal board I haven't assembled just yet, but I've got other pedals. I've got an Ibanez Tube Screamer, a Joyo Ultimate Drive, wall pedal, 535Q by Dunlop, a bunch of other things. Now, this pedal I was going to put at the end of the effects chain because I can use this if I want to, one or two presets, and all it has to be is just my reverb, my delay, my chorus, things like that I don't have a pedal for, and that way I can still use my sounds that I like. Like I can, use the Joyo Ultimate Drive, or I can use the Ibanez Tube Screamer, and that way I won't have to have any extra distortion, but I can use this just for my delay, chorus, modulation, things like that. So that's another good idea. Put this at the end of your effects chain so that you can use that for other things. So that's a good idea there. So let's go to the next one, number 6, flanger delay. This is another one that I like. Very nice flanger. And let's see which flanger is using. It's just, I guess, just a regular. I don't know if the plain words like plain tremolo, plain chorus, plain flanger, if this is based off Boss or what. There's actually an effects list that you can check out, and you can find out what the the compression is, flanger, different things like that. So if I do a find for flanger, it pulls that up. Flanger. This is a jet sound like an ADA flanger, and it tells you all these different presets and what these knobs do and different things like that. Page 1, page 2. And so it's made to sound like an ADA flanger, whatever that is. Not exactly sure. All right, so let's continue on here. While I'm here, let's talk about this website real quick. This is Zoom's official website. Okay, zoom.co.jp. I'm guessing the JP is for Japan, not exactly sure. It's a Japanese company, I think. This is actually made in China. But what you would do to get to this is you would go to that website for more information, and you would go to Guitar and Bass Effects, MultiStomp, okay? Then there it is right here, the MS-50G. Now let me go ahead and switch to my secondary display here, and you can, voila, see that a little bit better. So MS-50G, and this is a whole page dedicated to this pedal that you can see what's going on here. Okay, so it's going to pull up, give you kind of like an overview of what it looks like, and then here you get 72 effects. Okay, so 72 effects is what can come, an additional 72 effects. Okay, so this pedal says 100 version 2, that red sticker there. So you're going to get 172 effects. Now, this memory bank is obviously not going to fit all 172. It will fit a majority of those on there. But you can download something called the Effects Manager for Mac or Windows, and you will be able to pick and choose which ones you want on the device itself. And I'll show that to you here in just a little bit. But you can pick and choose which device, which effects you want on there, and it will give you like a little percentage bar to tell you how much of the percentage of the memory that you've used, and you can engage that and everything. Okay, so it's got an overview, features, download, specs, and so you can come down here and see what all it does. Here's one pedal, 172 great guitar effects. Okay, that talks about firmware version 3, all the different effects that you get, amp models, modulation, delay and reverb, special effects, like synths and things like that. Here's the full list of all the effects along with their editable parameters, and that's what this tab is. It's effects list, but there's an easier way to get to that. We come down here. Oh, and also it's talked about, you know, the manufacturing product names or trademarks of the companies, blah, blah, blah. So we come down, download and manage effects with the Effect Manager, which I was telling you about earlier. I'll show you that in just a minute. Full featured and easy to use. All these different ideas here. Okay, power to spare, so two AA batteries, or rechargeable or alkaline. You can 7 hours it will last, so completely, you know, plenty of time for a full show. You can use the AC adapter, or you can power it through USB. So there's 3 options there, and it's really awesome. I like being able to put this on my computer and power it through USB. You don't have to worry about fooling with the power adapter and plugging it in and everything. The USB cord does not come with it. It is a mini USB. Kind of like a bigger, fatter one. Not the small ones like for Verizon cell phone chargers or things like that, but it's kind of a bigger one. More like a MIDI controller USB, if that makes sense. Because that's what it goes by, is MIDI. Now here's the features at a glance. Okay, so that's what, if I click this, it would take me there, overview and all that. Here's what it looks like. See, that's the port. So it's one of them kind of fatter mini USBs. Accessories, it comes with a manual. It comes with the batteries. The batteries are included, so that you can get started right away, and you can get the AC adapter or just use what you're using. It is a 9-volt adapter. Like if we look back here, it's 9-volt, 500 milliamps, and it's negative tip. Okay, so that's what it's going by there. And here's the downloads. If I go to downloads, it would take me to this. Here's where you can download everything you need. You got the effects list, which will take you to this. You've got the manual, which will take you to this. This is how I found all this. It's really thorough and very easy to understand. And it's very short, too. It's a very short read. That's page 11. And there's 29. It's maybe, 30 pages, if that. So, very, very cool. And also down here, a little bit further down, because these are different languages and stuff. The software, you'll need to get the firmware, and you can download it for either Windows or Mac. I use a Mac. And the Effect Manager. Okay, so now let me pull up the Effect Manager for you. Let me get my dock over here. Now this is the Zoom Effect Manager. Very easy. You're going to have the Zoom plugged in, and once you get this going here, you're going to see this, and I can choose which effects that I want. Okay, and once you start choosing effects, it's going to show up on the display of the Zoom pedal. So it's going to say reading or writing or something like that. So I can choose out of these 172 effects here, I've got 123 on there, and I've still got 19% of the memory remaining. This is your percentage bar. Once that gets full, that's as many as you can put on there. So I could put all these different effects on here, which is very awesome. All right. And the MIDI in, MIDI out, it needs to be set to zoom. You can write the effects when you're done. You click exit, unplug the device, and plug it back in. That restarts it, reboots it, and it will be, the effects will be there, just like you want them to be. And that's really, really cool. So that's a cool thing. So you can check that out. Once again, go to zoom.co.jp, scroll up to their guitar bass effects, go to MultiStomp, click on the MS-50G, and then it will pull up this page to where you can go down here. And like I said, you go to ericbeatty.com/shop. That takes you directly to Amazon through my affiliate link, my associates link. That way you can help contribute to this Twitch channel. Now, like I said, I'm new to Twitch. I'm not exactly sure about how to set up my Twitch channel to where you can donate or, you know, buy all these different point things that's going on. I don't know anything about that. I don't know when I'm going to be streaming. I don't have a set schedule. It's actually today I just rearranged my desk so that it's facing the wall, so I have all this space for background. I'll be having a green screen hopefully pretty soon and creating other videos. But if you want to watch me and there's just not enough content here on Twitch just yet, do check out youtube.com/sword6204. That is my main YouTube page. So hopefully I can see comments and everything that's going on as we go along, as I get used to this and find out how the interface works. Maybe I can find some YouTube videos on how to interact with my viewers or whatever. But before this video gets too much longer, let's go ahead and go back to the screen here. We were on flanger delay. One thing that I will say about this is I don't know exactly how to adjust the overall level itself. Maybe I can check that on the manual. Let me see if I can do a search real quick for that. Level of the effects. Okay, so there's no, what if I put volume? Okay, that's the amplifier it's talking about. Connect to an amp to turn the amp and raise the volume of the amp. Okay, very low volume. Check the connections, adjust the levels of the effects being used. Okay, so basically you adjust the volume within the effects settings themselves, which I don't like. I wish there was like a master volume knob where you could turn the overall effects up. That would be really cool, because as you can tell, this one's very loud. You can hear it almost peaking, but then you get to something like the clear chorus, and it's obviously lower in volume, but you can't change that unless you go to the actual effect here. And I decided to change the effect of the chorus. I'll make it louder, or make the comp louder, the compression. Another thing that I was thinking about is these knobs here actually are set to what these are set to. So if you'll notice, I'll exit out of this. The rate, it's actually a little bit off. The rate is at 44, so it's not dead center. See the rate there, it's not dead center. But as I turn this, you'll see when we go back here, let me go back, exit out of that. As I turn this, let's just say to about 73, exit out. Now the knob has changed, so you get a realistic view, you know, estimated view of where the knobs are. So that's really cool. So I can turn the rate down, back down to where it was, which is 44. No big deal there. Effects level, let's turn that up. So now I can hear it. Okay, different page. EQ, no big deal there. Turn the effects level up on that. Let's go back to here. Tone level, turn the level up so I can hear this thing. And it's obviously a bit more loud. Okay, so that's one of the downsides that I found with this and that I'm thinking about it. Alright, so that was flanger delay. Let's go to metal distortion. Okay, so alright, so it looks like I'm delaying a little bit. Sorry about that. Don't know exactly how to fix that. But that's the metal distortion. Now we got a natural compression. A little twang on there. That's about all the country I know. Sorry. Has that naturally squished, twangy sound the compression does. Okay, so next, short delay. Okay, very slapbacky, you know. Rich Hall reverb. That'd be good with chorus, so you can add a chorus to that so that the chorus will be nice and reverby as well. One thing I like about this pedal too is that you can keep the tail on the delays and certain effects, which means when you disengage the pedal, if you have the tail on, you can still hear the delay kind of fading out. If you take the tail off, the delay immediately quits when you disengage the pedal. So that's a really cool thing. So let's add a chorus to this. And that's at the end. We got a comp and a noise suppressor. So I want the chorus to go, usually I think it'll go after the comp. So we're going to make that a mod. And let's make it a chorus. Let's just do the first chorus I come to here. Gonna put the mix in, which should be okay, the level. All right. I noticed there was a vibe there too, so I can come down. I like the vibe sound, especially with the thicker it is. So, give me a vibe there. Let's get the depth. The bias is just like the bias of tubes, I'm guessing. Speed, I can turn that down a little bit, and the quicker you adjust that, you saw how quickly that went down there. Chorus or vibrato. Very cool. Next effect, SEQ wall, sequencer wall. Okay, next, modulated delay. There's a little bit of a warble there on the delay. So I'm going to exit out of there and take that overdrive off. next. Keep forgetting to push that button. Push that. Next we have Blues Overdrive, which I've already demonstrated. Okay. And what overdrive is that using? That would be using just a regular overdrive, which is based off of Boss OD1 right here. The compact effect box that was the first to take the overdrive title. So Boss OD1, that's what that's based off of. Now, I noticed something else here. Z Clean. Let's find out what Z Clean is. Z Clean. A Zoom original unadorned clean sound. I don't know why it's there. If I take that overdrive off. Okay. One thing you could do to increase the volume is just create a, there's clean boosts in here that you can use. But also I noticed something else. This is called a line select effect. This is cool because you can go straight to the line, to the output, to where there's nothing but guitar, pure unadulterated guitar tone, true bypass. That way you can use pedals that you want to use, which is really cool. I've heard this is a very cool feature and a very cool effect that you want on several of your patches. So I can go directly out to my board or my amp and use effects in my amp, especially if you have a foot switch for your amp, and then immediately right back into the effect that all these other patches have, which in my case was this Blues Overdrive. Past that. So that's really cool. Another thing that this has is that if you, I said earlier that you can only have so many effects on your pedal because of the memory. One other thing to keep in mind is you can have up to 6 effects at once, but sometimes, like if you have amps and other things on there, certain effects will overload the memory. So you have to select what's called through. So you're going through that effect and bypassing it so that it takes it out of the chain. And it says that it uses just as much memory for it to be off and still present there as it does for it to be on. So you can't technically leave it off. You still have to select the through option to where you're bypassing that effect so that it doesn't overload your memory. So that's a pretty cool solution there as well. So that's the Blues Overdrive. Your Silver Haze instead of Purple Haze, I guess. So now obviously that's got a fuzz face on there, some kind of fuzz. But now notice here's one effect. The vibe is not on, so I can engage that. Okay, so let's leave the vibe on. Now let's look at the, it's using a big muff there, a tape echo. Now what I want to use is, instead of a big muff, is I want to use, there's the fuzz, you know, the classic fuzz. Okay, I want to use an octave fuzz. So let me find that. I installed that on here. This is one of the new ones that you can use. Octave fuzz. So I don't want the vibrato thing on if I've got that. So let's go back to the vibe and turn that off. And now we come back to this. Okay, so I can come in here and change the color. I like the 2 better. It seems like you get a little bit more. I don't want a lot of boost because that's overriding the thing. So if I go over here and find octave fuzz, adds an octave above. Sounds like it's adding one lower. I guess it is acting octave above. Not sure. Okay, so we'll exit out of that. Ambient King, I guess. Add some ambience there. And you can obviously, I think it's called slow attack. You can obviously change that. Let's go to the next one. Pitch distortion. If you want, you can come out and select. This is a pitch shift, but you can select an intelligent pitch shifter, which you can decide on the scale. Like I'm in the key of A minor, so let's go to A, and then come back to the lower M. So I can put the mix in there to make it all harmonized. Okay. Put it back down a little bit. So it's more subtle. Next page. Level, the tone, all these different things. Okay, so I can add those. Let's go to the next setting here. Star Synth. I like this one because you can really, blobby sounding sounds there. I like that. Next, Asia Palace. Not exactly sure what effects we have here. We got a pitch shifter, acoustic amp, step filter, flanger, vibrato, and spring reverb. So a lot of different modulation effects in there. Rock 1, which is what I said, kind of sounds like Joe Satriani. Rock 2, more of a clean sound. I think it's got a compressor on there. It sounds pretty nice. Hall reverb, delay, a Fender combo, tremolo, that's what that sound was, and a compressor, yeah. I like that compression sound. Next, whip clean. And then whip lead, this is one of my favorites. Very good sound. Very good tone, very good sound. castles. So castles in the sand, I guess. I think I hear a little bit of compression in there as well. Analog delay, which is not engaged. Okay. Analog delay, Vox. So there's no compression. That's just the sound of that amp. Okay, so let's go back to the next. Just got paid. I just thought of this the other day, and I can't remember what the riff was. I know I can hear it in my head, but I can't think of how to play it. I don't remember. I just played it the other day, and I couldn't remember it then that it came to me. Very thick overdrivey sound. That's the Marshall 1959 paired with a tube screamer. Okay, so going back to this, if I think of that, I'll come back to it. Double V wet. I think it's got 2 delays on it. Then we've got double V box. Pure blues. See what that consists of. We've got a Vox Jimmy again and a hall reverb, and that's it. If I can find my chord here. Pretty nice sounding. Funk Strat. Nice, not too bad. LM R&B Love. What in the world is that? Let's see. Spring reverb, Fender combo, compression. Not exactly sure what they're going with that. LM Funk. We've already got a wah, and we've got an octave driving the force of this. Let's go down here and see if we've got some kind of distortion here. The compressor's not engaged. There's the effect type where it's going through, because some of these take more processing power to use. So that's what I was telling you about earlier. And we've got a chorus and a delay. So let me engage this compressor. It cleans it up quite a bit, the compressor does. And then that's it. We've got an empty channel. So we can go through a few of, there's an empty channel, nothing's going on. So looks like the last thing is the through. Let's see what these, I think these are reverbs. Particle reverb, yeah, we're on the reverbs. Now, I've got something I like, so let's start building from that. Okay, so here's how we would build some presets. I like the particle reverb. Next to that, on this side, I press and hold because it's going before the effect. I want some chorus. All right, so let's get some chorus. And probably a stereo chorus right there. Okay, so we got, I want more in the mix. The depth I want, rate, I want kind of low. Level, let's bring that up a little bit. Very nice. Now, let's go ahead and add a compressor to that. So that's a dynamic filter. I'm going to add the compressor. We're going to leave it about where it is. Okay, so let's add an overdrive. I want to say after that I can use. That's a clean boost. Tube Screamers is a good selection. Actually, there's one called Red Hot. Let's go to Red Hot here. I like the string distortion. That's like the 80s and a lot of noise that you can hear. Maybe it's a hot box. Let's go to, now notice. Let me turn this guitar down. That's saying to go through because there's not enough memory in the processor to handle this effect. This is a sweet drive, so that basically tells it to select through, or it's automatically going to be through. So notice the DSP, the digital sensory memory is full, so it's going to make that be a through, or you have to select through. I don't know exactly how that works. So I'm going to go to the hot box. That one was also a lead that I noticed. Zoom itself is a lead from Zoom. I want a little bit of put some gain on there. Okay. And obviously there's a ton of noise here, so I'm going to add one more thing before this, and we're going to make a noise filter. So right there, there's the noise reduction. A little bit of noise there. Let me threshold. So there, I've got a total big effects patch that I can come back. And the one thing I'll do here is this reverb. I can leave the tails on. I can put that in stereo if I want to. Mono on. Let me go back here to where that was. The gain, I can turn that down a little bit. Maybe that's having the effect of that completely going forever. And once again, if you go back to this effects list, it'll tell you what those are. So if I go to the particle, and it pulls it up right here, okay? So if I go to that, right here, this unique complex reverb effect models the line 6 M9 particle verb. The dwell sets the duration of the reverberations. Okay, how long, I guess, with 40 of them. The gain, just the output of the gain, the reverb sound. The mode sets how the reverb sound changes. So that says stable, critical. Critical, and then hazard. Okay, so you can definitely hear those different modes there. And then the page 2, you got the low EMP, adjust the amount that the low frequencies of the reverb sound are reduced. Amount that the low frequencies are reduced. So, oh, I'm on the shimmer. My bad. Let's go back down here to particle. Particle. Reverb sound changes. Adjust the amount of affected sound that's mixed with the original sound, so that's a mix. So the dwell's duration of reverberation. Adjust the output, sets how the reverb sound changes, and it shows you what these three are here. 0 to 100. I like how this effects list gives you all these parameters, what they do, and I mean, there's so many things you can do with this pedal, and it's only $100. I went and decided to get that for Christmas, that and my pedal board, so that's what I've been working on. And that's what I've been, having fun with. So that now I have my own preset. So let's go ahead and store that so I can give you an idea of what this is. So I'm going to call this Wicked Verb. How about that? So let's go over here, exit this, and we'll go into settings. Actually, wait. No, I need to go back into this mode here. I'm going to store this on empty. Okay. We'll store it as that does the space. Well, that sure says DEST characters here. So let's go down to W. Good night. There's a lot of symbols here. Maybe that's the let's go forward here. Oh, that's DEST is destination. So it tells us where we're storing it. So that changes the destination. So I'm going to put on 31, leave it there. And we're going to call this WC K D and I'm going to leave a space here, so I got to find where a space would be. There we go, right after the 9. Wicked V V E R. So backwards is lowercase, forwards is uppercase. Wicked Verb. Okay, make sure the destination right here, when you turn it, it's on the empty one. And if you like it, I don't know what skip means. I can enter it here, and it is stored now to 31. Now, if I go back here to store, let's see what skip does. This is to press. Okay, so it skips to the next section, so that's cool. I can skip to uppercase, lowercase, numbers and symbols, or the space. Okay, so I need a W there, so that is really cool. Wicked verb, store it. Right there on 31. So now when I change back to the funk, I come back to my wicked verb that I liked. I like how it has that drone effect. So if I can, you know, keep going back to the root note. And that just trails off. And the tail on this, if I get on that reverb there, the tail is off. So if I disengage it, let's do that real quick and we'll see what goes on here. See how it cuts completely off? If I engage the tail, now let's see what happens. Keeps going, okay? So I want the tail on, obviously. I don't want to just cut off. Let me go back and change the distortion to the extreme, see if I like it better. Notice the noise gate. That's an awesome noise gate on that. That very first one, the ZNR. So if I do a search for ZNR, we have Zoom's unique noise reduction cuts noise during pauses and playing without affecting the tone. Okay, so you got the threshold, the control of the signal detection level, and the output level. Okay, so that output level is basically the makeup gain, and I'm guessing kind of like a compressor. So levels is, you can, if it cuts out too much, you can make it up. All right, so that middle one is sets the control signal detection level. So guitar in or effects in. Not exactly sure. I guess it would differ, you know, depending on what's going on. Okay, so that is, I guess I'm going to go ahead and quit the video here. I am not sleepy at all. I just had a huge cup of coffee in my huge Grinch mug here. My favorite mugs of all time. I still got some left, so let me drizzle this down for a second. Hot cocoa, basically. And so that's the Zoom pedal, and that's basically it for the video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you later on that you'll come back and watch this often. If you'd like to get one of these, definitely check it out. Like I said, you can go to ericbeatty.com/shop. I have a ton of more gear reviews on YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff, I've got one for my PV Viper, which is over here to the side. Different guitars that I have, different effects, different units, different things like that. So I've got all these different things that you can enjoy if you go to youtube.com/sword, SWORD 6204, or the easiest way, probably remember that, is ericbeatty.com/YouTube. Ericbeatty.com is my main central hub of everything I do on video-wise online. Actually, not video-wise. That's my blog. That's my main website that kind of, compiles everything that I do for writing and different things about guitar. But yeah, there's all kinds of ways to find me. If you'll go to my Twitch stream and just look at the links, you'll find different areas to see me. So with that being said, I'd like to come on Twitch again very soon and set up my pedal board. I've got it off here to the side. It's a very small one. It's called a Ghost something. I forgot what it's called. But you can check that out. I'm going to probably do a stream on that pretty soon because I like doing this. I can feel like I can be me and I don't have to worry about expectations and things like that. So you can expect hopefully a lot more videos from me, different things like this. But I'm going to call it a night. I've got church early in the morning, and it is 2:17 in the morning here where I'm at. So I'm more of a night owl. I've tried my best to try to get up early and all this stuff, but I'm more of a person that stays up late. That's the way I am. So no chat for right now, doesn't look like, but hopefully that'll change in the future. So give a shout out to my brother X-Mutis for getting me on Twitch, and we'll see how it works. And hopefully this has been a good experience for everybody. So until next time, I'll see you guys wherever the next video is going to be, whatever the next stream is going to be. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out all these links that I mentioned, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, and God bless.